Hi everyone, my name is Kalin. I have been a wildlife photographer, a hobbyist wildlife photographer for almost 20 years now. And our host Yetmir asked me to share my ideas about the artistic side of wildlife photography. I have always been trying to understand what brings a nice picture to the next level and what makes it a piece of art. I would like to say that what I'm going to tell you now is based on my personal experience. It is my personal opinion, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong or right. For me, a wildlife photo becomes a piece of art when it starts to create emotion in the viewer. I would like to start by showing you this photo of mine that I took some time ago. It's a nice picture of a bird. It is technically well composed, well exposed. It is sharp. The bird is in a nice place with a nice clear background with good colors. But still, I don't like it, and I would like to be able to do something to push it to the next level. It is just an ordinary photo of a bird on a stick, and it doesn't create, according to me, any emotion to the viewer. So when I'm looking at this photo, I'm trying to find out what else could I do to make it better and to improve it, and what it lacks to become, let's say, a piece of art, or to start creating emotion when I look at it. And what I think it lacks are four main components that could be used to make a photo more than just a documentary picture. One of the components is light, the next one is weather and environment, the third one I think is action and movement, and the final one is colors. I'm going to start with light. Light helps us create emotion and mood in a photo. It is what makes the viewer experience what it was like when we were there taking this photo. I'm going to start with this picture of a bird that I took in a nearby lake. It is a nice photo. It has a nice, clean, relatively clean background. It is sharp enough. It is well composed, but what it lacks, I think, is mood and emotion. So I was wondering, how could I improve it, and what could I do to make it better, and decided that if I try to find better lighting and better conditions, it could make it a better photo. So I decided to spend the night at the lake and aim for the early morning light, and I think it worked better than the light at the previous photo. Now we have nice warm colors, we have depth, we have color tones and shadows, which create a mood and emotion, and all this help us to transport ourselves to the place, and almost feel what it was like to be able to watch wildlife in the early morning. We can use light in many different ways. In this photo I decided to take a picture of a silhouette of a dragonfly. It was early summer evening. The sun was setting down. It was almost touching the horizon, and I tried to place the dragonfly in the middle of the sun. I think it worked well. This is a very special picture for me because with it I won a photography contest that will bring us to Botswana and Zimbabwe for our next trip. So I think this picture creates a feeling of a summer evening. We have the resting dragonfly, we have the setting sun. It is hot, and these warm colors just make us feel hot, and almost feel the heat of the evening. And yet it's getting cooler, and we have cooler tones and darker tones, just transitioning from the top to the bottom of the picture. This is another example of using light to create a silhouette of an animal. This is a lioness in the Masai Mara in the African savannah. It is an early morning picture. The sun was just below the horizon. I had this nice pinkish warm colors, and the lioness was kind enough to pose for a while. So I took my chances and took the picture. This is my final example of using light to create a silhouette and to create mood in a photo. The picture was also taken in Africa. This is very early in the morning. Yes, the picture lacks details, it has some noise, but I think it has a lot of mood in it. So, together with light, what else could we use to create emotion in a picture? The next thing I think is weather and environment. I will start with this picture with a great crested grip. It is well composed, it has nice light, it's a nice photo, I like it. But what it lacks, I think, is the feeling of the environment and the weather conditions. I think it lacks emotion, there is no mood in it. So what I try to do is again to search for different conditions and to try to make it a better photo. Again, the same bird at the same place, but at a different moment. I took the photo earlier in the morning when the light was lower and there was some mist in the lake. I used the weather conditions, in this case the mist, to create mood in the photo and to improve my previous one. In this photo, I once again tried to implement the weather as a component of the picture. I tried to show a gray winter afternoon. I used the gray ambient light and colors and included the snow in the photo to represent my idea. Now, together with weather, I wanted to include more of the environment in the photo. In this case, it is the mist in the early morning. It creates a mood of an early spring morning. It is cold, it is misty, but the sun is rising and is starting to warm up the birds. This again is a black-winged stilt at the same place, my local lake. And in this instance, it is mostly the environment that makes the difference in the photo. The bird, the main subject, is small in the frame. What matters most is the color of the flowers, the environment, and the mood that all these spring colors create in the picture. My next element when I try to create mood and emotion in a photo is to include action and movement in it. This is a static picture of a kingfisher, a normal photo, well exposed, with nice lighting and background and details and everything, and yet it lacks something. And when I was thinking what I could improve it with, I thought that maybe some action and movement in it would make it a better photo. I changed my position, which resulted in change of composition, but I think it worked much better. Now we have movement in the picture, we have the frozen droplets, the reflections, the pose of the bird. It all makes difference now and creates a feeling and emotion, and shows us what it is like when the kingfisher just comes out of the water. Another example of movement and another favorite photo of mine. In this case, it's a hoopoe approaching its nest. It has a bug in its beak. It's a nice photo with colors that I love. But what I love most in this picture, it is the feeling of flight and the way that the bird has spread its wing and its crest at the same time. We can showcase movement in a very different way than just freezing it with high shutter speed. In this case, I use lower shutter speed to try to show the movements of the bird in the darkness of the early morning. Actually, this picture uses the light only of the moon and the lights of a local granary that were reflected in the water of the pond. I like it very much, although it lacks detail. It is noisy. It is not pin sharp. But the mood it creates and the feeling and emotion it creates value more for me than the sharpness and the details of the bird. My final element is color. It is another way to create emotion and the mood in a photo. The good thing about art is that it doesn't have to represent the reality and a documentary picture of what we saw. We actually see in colors, so a black and white photo is something, let's say, artificial, and it's not what it was like when we were at the place. And yet black and white or different color tones in a picture help us create a strong emotion in the viewer. We could use that in our photography to create a mood and represent our art. In this photo, I try to use two of the elements I'm talking about. One is color conversion, and the other was the inclusion of the environment. I wanted to show how big the savanna is. I wanted to show these deep, amazing skies of Africa, and also I wanted to just to focus the viewer of the hugeness of the environment, and I thought that colors will only distract, so I converted the photo in black and white. Black and white is not the only color conversion that we could use. We can use different tonalities to create mood and emotion. In this case, I wanted to represent the heat of the African savanna, so I decided that I will use warmer tones, higher contrast, deeper shadows, and I think it worked for me. It once again is my way of representing the African savanna. It is not what it looked like, it's just how it felt like. That's why I used this tone conversion in that photo. This is the final photo that I would like to show you. With it, I want to say that we should not be afraid to experiment, and we should embrace our creativity. I think art is a form of personal expression, and there are no wrongs or rights in it. Finding our personal style is a journey of development, and our creative search should not be based on other people's opinion or likes or shares in social media. Yes, it is a great way to learn. Seeking advice is a great way to learn, but our creative search is our own, and we should do it the way that it feels most proper for us. That's it from me. I hope you liked my presentation. Thank you for the time you spent watching it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and to connect on social media. Thanks a lot.